So in selecting a program, I think in the United States, we have about 170 schools that offer an LLM program. It can be daunting to figure out which one to pick. So you want to define your criteria, and that you're doing the right thing already by reaching out, hearing from the experts, getting introductions about the varying facets and things that make an LLM program great. But since we just spoke about Minnesota, location is obviously a key. The United States, if you don't live here, you probably are aware, has very different features. The coastal cities, the Midwest, the South, the North. So that's something you can spend some time with and also find out about the information on the websites. You want to find out about the size of the LLM program, because there are LLM programs that have about 10 students, and there are some that have, not many, that have about 450 students. So that is a key factor perhaps for you. Each has their own benefits. So if you feel comfortable in a big school with hundreds of international students, then that is something that you should look at. Smaller programs have their advantages as well. And then, of course, they're mid-sized programs. So it does have an impact potentially on your access to the courses. If there are bigger programs, it may be that the law school has decided to have separate courses for the LLM students in key subjects, such as bar exam subjects. For example, if you want to take a bar exam, most students do that in New York, you need to have 2 doctrinal classes. So that's something you should look at. There are schools that have an auction system so students can list their 3 favorite choices, and then they would be placed according on the interest in the classes or not. Some students have graded enrollments, so those students who are closer to graduation can enroll on day 1, others on day 2, and the newer students on day 3, so that determines your access to classes. Look at these specializations. For example, the larger the program is, the more specializations you're likely to find in a law school. Smaller programs generally will have more general programs. So like my program is small. We have an LLM in US law and one in international law, and all students have quite some freedom to choose their classes depending on what they want to do. Another aspect is the access to student services. And we heard some examples of what the law schools provide. Look at the size of the staff, look at the availability of services, whether you do have access to the support that's offered to the JD students, or whether there's a special section, for example, for English. And that's something that I would like everybody to be aware of. The better your English, the more you get out of your law school experience and your investment. So do sign up for additional opportunities that are granted to you from the law school, be it a writing center or legal English tutors or separate classes. The more you work on your English starting now, the better your experience. Career services is something that all United States law schools are very serious about. Many schools have a separate counselor just for the graduate students, because you have different needs and need different support than the typical JD student. So they don't give you jobs, but they help you with alumni databases, so you can reach out to the alumni. They help you with your resume, with your personal statement. You even can do mock interviews in most career services office, so that's a great feature. And did I mention location? So look at where the law school is. Look at what the city offers, or that you choose. How many law firms there are? Is there a large international community, and so on and so on? What's the entertainment like? And yes, how is the weather? I think that kind of sums it up. That's the big picture of some features that you can look at, and you can rank them and get the information and pick your favorite schools.
Thank you. Does anybody else want to jump in of just anything else students are asking about?
Yeah, if I could add, I think I get a lot of questions about scholarships and financial aid. Each school has a different policy and procedure on how they do that. Each degree has their own budget usually. And I think students sometimes forget that the amount you pay is not simply the tuition cost minus your scholarship. You will also be paying for where you live. You will be paying for what you eat. You will be paying for, like Insa said, entertainment. You have to have fun. If you're not happy, you will not be successful no matter what you do. You have to get out of the law school, get out of the library sometimes too. So I always encourage students to create a spreadsheet or something to think about all those other costs of living and costs of what you're going to do while you're in the United States, and think about that as well. All of us are in the Midwest generally. In the United States, on the coast, that's usually more expensive. The bigger the city, the more expensive it can be. And so really think about, ask any of us here, any admission representative from any law school, can you tell me more about the cost of living? What do you estimate one person, or if I'm bringing my family, what do you estimate that cost will be to live and eat and take public transportation and all of that for a year or two that you're in the United States?
Thank you. Margaret?
Thank you. I was hoping to jump in as well. I agree with my colleagues. Given that I work with exclusively an online program, I just wanted to share a little bit of the considerations, or a few of the considerations that students have as they consider an online program. But I think this could apply across the board. Be sure, as you're doing your research and you're thinking about the program, identify what your goals are in pursuing the LLM degree. And does the LLM program align with whatever those goals are? So a lot of times when we're talking to students, they're interested in establishing a path to bar eligibility or learning about US law and legal practice. And so we discuss with them the curriculum, the alignment with those goals. Student support and community is incredibly important, whether you're considering an on-campus or an online program. You really need to feel that you belong in that school and that it is the right fit for you. So the best way to learn that is participating in these sessions and meeting with us and with members of our team. And for our online students, it's really important to recognize and balance this degree, because many are working full time, being able to balance the studies with other professional and personal responsibilities. So those students who usually are successful in LLM programs, they complete, they go through to the end, and we're celebrating together at graduation, are the ones that were very deliberate in that application process, evaluating what their goal was in pursuing the LLM degree and making sure that there was alignment between that and the program that they selected.
Anagus?
Yeah, well, first of all, I agree with everything that my fellow panelists have said. And really, as Margaret said, you're thinking about your goals. I would just ask yourself, what's your why? And that's really what we're getting at here, right? What are you seeking to do here? For some people, they might be seeking a very general LLM as part of just their progression in legal practice in their home country. Some people may be looking to be licensed in the US, and then you would think about where you want to be licensed and which schools would feed into that. And for some people, they're looking for a very specialized area. I know that we have students who talk to us about, coming maybe from Chile, where mining is a really big sector, that they may have had peers from their law school who went to the coast, but who chose to come to Denver because of the focus on a particular subject. And every one of our schools here representative will have, something for you, depending on what your why is. And then I would just echo all of the other things. Think about the format, think about the location, think about whether you'll be with family and what that might mean for location and format. Find out about scholarship funds. I think all of our schools have scholarship funding available. You can find out about that and what that cost will be. So really, then I'm just echoing what everyone else said. So I'll be quiet.